Hi, this is the first in a series of videos for the topic of equations for the new curriculum for New South Wales. This topic is called Equations C. It's for Year 10 students and it's part of the advanced pathway. We're going to start with linear equations. Now, linear equations have at most one solution, and we can see this graphically because that solution is represented by the point of intersection of two linear graphs. Suppose I want to solve 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. That's a fairly easy equation. You would know how to do this algebraically. But I could graph y is equal to 2x minus 1 and y is equal to 5 and find that point of intersection. You see, one solution. There's only one point where the two lines cross. Here's the point of intersection, 3, 5. The solution to this equation is x is equal to 3. Let's solve this algebraically. We'll take this -1 over the other side. So 2x is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 3. Now remember, when we're solving an equation, we are finding the value of the pronumeral that satisfies or balances that equation. So if we put x is equal to 3 in here, on the left-hand side we'll have 5, and on the right-hand side we'll have 5. But if we choose any other number or value for x, we're going to have an imbalance here. That solution will not satisfy the equation. So I'm going to start with pronumerals on both sides. Now remember, what we want to do here is get x by itself on the left-hand side equal to some number. So currently we've got x's on both sides. We need to get those together. So I'm going to move this 2x over the other side. Now probably what you learnt to do when you were back in year 8 was opposite operations. So the opposite of positive 2x is negative 2x, and whatever we do to one side we do to the other. Now at this stage I think you'll probably have moved beyond that, so I'm going to just erase all of that and show you a better way to do it. If you want to still use your little marks, you can. This 2x comes over the other side as a minus 2x, and then we're going to rewrite that equation. Now remember, we've got to consider like terms. Those x's go together. So we're going to do 4x take away 2x, which is 2x, plus 1 is equal to -5. And we're back to a two-step equation, which is nice and easy. I want to get rid of the 2 and the 1. The 1 is most by itself, so I'm going to move it first. It's a positive 1. It goes over the other side as a -1. Let's rewrite it. 2x is equal to, what is -5 take away 1? It's -6. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 2. X is equal to -6 divided by 2, which is -3. Let's try another one. This time we've got some brackets on the right-hand side, but we're going to have to expand that first. So I'm going to expand through here. That's going to give me 2x plus 1 is equal to 3x minus 3. Now I have pronumerals on both sides. I need to collect them together. Here's a little trick. If we move that 3x over to the left-hand side, we're going to get a negative here. I don't particularly like negatives, so I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to move the least amount of pronumeral. So I'm going to move this 2x. It goes over the other side as -2x, because that's a positive 2x, like this. And rewrite it. We get 1 is equal to 3x take away 2x is x take away 3. Make sure that makes sense to you. And now I'm going to move this -3 over. It becomes +3. So 4 is equal to x, or I can turn it around. X is equal to 4. And one of the really cool things about equations is that you can always check your solution through substitution. So when you finish a test, you can actually go and check whether you're right. So there's the question that we just did. We worked out that x was equal to 4. So let's check our solution. Now I'm going to set this up formally. I'm going to say the left-hand side of the equation is equal to 2 lots of 4. I'm going to substitute the 4 in. Plus 1 is equal to 9. Now the right-hand side is equal to 3 lots of, in brackets, 4 minus 1, which is 3 times 3, which is also 9. So our solution is correct. X is equal to 4 satisfies the equation. Let's try a couple more examples. So here we've got 5 outside of x plus 1 in brackets is equal to 2 outside of x minus 3 in brackets. So I need to start by expanding those brackets on both sides. I'm going to do it in one go. That's going to give us 5x plus 5 is equal to 2x minus 6. Now we need to get the pronumerals together. I'm going to move the least amount of x. It's going to come over here as negative 2x. I'm going to be sneaky here and do 2 steps in one go. Move this plus 5 over, and that will become negative 5. Okay, let's rewrite it. 5x take away 2x is 3x is equal to negative 6 take away 5 is negative 11. Now if that's too many steps in one go for you, then do 2 lines, that's fine. Then finally I need to divide both sides by 3, and I'm going to use fraction notation to do that, because my answer here is x is equal to negative 11 on 3. And actually I can leave the answer like that. I don't have to change it to a decimal or a mixed numeral or anything. That's the correct answer. Let's do another one. Here I've got 2 outside of x minus 3 is equal to 1. Take away 3 outside of x minus 1. So again, I'm going to start by expanding the brackets. And here. Now, I'm already on alert because of this negative. I know when I've got a negative in front of the brackets, it's going to affect the sign in the brackets. So let's expand this out and see what happens. We're going to end up with 2 times x is 2x. Take away 2 3s is 6. That part's all right. Is equal to 1. Take away 3 times x is 3x. Now here I've got negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. This is the single biggest mistake that students make when we have a negative in front of a brackets. So just take your time there. All right, now what? All right, this is the least amount of x, so I'm going to move that over this side. I'm going to tidy this up. That 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. So let's just have a look how we got there. I moved that negative 3x over the other side, becomes positive 3x. So 2x plus 3x is 5x, take away 6 is equal to 1 plus 3 is 4. We're back to a two-step equation. Let's move this, comes over as positive 6. 5x is equal to 10. 5 times 2 is equal to 10, so x is equal to 2. Okay, let's move on to equations with fractions. Now this is a fairly easy one. We can do this by moving the 1 over and then multiplying both sides by 5. I'm going to show you a different way, mainly because we're going to encounter some more difficult equations with fractions. So anytime I see a fraction on the denominator, I am going to multiply every single term by that fraction. And what this does is it gets rid of the fraction in one go, and it turns it into a nice, easy, single-step equation. So let's rewrite this. We're going to get x take away 5 is equal to 30. See how I did that? And now all I've got to do is move this 5 over. So x is equal to 35. Now you can do that one the other way if you want to, but let's have a look at a harder one. We can do this in 2 steps. I can multiply everything by 3 and then multiply everything by 5, or I can times by the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5, which of course is equal to 15. And that does it in one go. So I'm going to times every term, this one by 15, this one by 15, and don't forget this one here. Now we need to cancel. I'm just going to change colour. 3 into 15 goes 5. 5 into 15 goes 3. And now we're ready to rewrite this. So I'll just talk you through this. What have we got here? The denominator's gone. I've got 5 times 2x, that's 10x. Take away 3 times x is 3x is equal to negative 15. Can you see how in one go I have gotten rid of both of the denominators? So I've turned quite an ugly equation into something that's manageable. Collecting like terms, 10x take 3x is 7x. Dividing both sides by 7, remember how to do that? I get my answer. X is equal to negative 15 on 7, the end. Now we can have binomial numerators, and binomial just means 2 terms. So there's a binomial numerator there. Now the thing with this is is because of that long divide by sign, we don't actually write the brackets. So there are invisible brackets, and the very first thing that I do with these sorts of questions is put them back in so that I can see them. All right, that's step one. Now we're going to multiply by the lowest common multiple of 3 and 2, which is 6, times every term by 6. Okay, let's cancel. 3 into 6 goes twice. 2 into 6 goes 3 times, and I don't need to do the right-hand side because there's no denominator. Now let's just have a look what we're going to get when we rewrite this. 2 lots of x minus 1 in brackets plus 3 lots of x, 3x, is equal to 30. Now just stare at that for a minute and make sure that makes sense to you. Now we're back to a normal equation. Expanding the brackets here gives me 2x take away 2 plus 3x is equal to 30. I'm going to collect like terms. 2x plus 3x is 5x. I'm going to take this 2 over at the same time. It's going to become plus 2. So I end up with 5x is equal to 32. If that's too quick for you, do an extra step. Divide both sides by 5. X is equal to 32 over 5, which is our answer. There's a couple more. So firstly, put in the invisible brackets. Now, there's a bit of a trick to this one. What we can actually do is cross multiply. And that's because we've got one fraction on this side is equal to one fraction on this side. You can multiply both sides by the lowest common multiple of 12. It's actually the same thing. But this is a bit quicker. Have a look. So I've taken the 4 up here times x minus 2 is equal to, take the 3 up here. Pretty easy from now. We're going to expand this out. 4x take away 8 is equal to 3x plus 15. Take your 3x over. I'm going to take the negative 8 over at the same time. I'm moving a little bit quicker. X is equal to 23. Now when the pronumerals are on the bottom, we do exactly the same thing. It looks a little different, doesn't it? We normally have x's up here. But we're going to do the same. We're going to multiply every term by the lowest common multiple of those denominators, so 2x and x. Now we need something that 2x goes into, that x also goes into, and that has to be 2x. Just think about it. 2x goes into 2x, x goes into 2x. You could multiply everything by 2x squared. You'd just have to cancel more. All right, so times 2x, times 2x, times 2x. Now we're ready to cancel. 2x into 2x goes once. I don't need to do this next one because it doesn't have any denominator. Now let's move over to here. X goes into 2x 2 times. Make sure that makes sense to you. 2x divided by x is equal to 2. All right, let's rewrite this and see what we get. 1 times 3 is 3. Take away 2x times 5 is negative 10x is equal to 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Let's do it again. 1 times 3 is 3. Take away 2x times 5 is 10x is equal to negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. All right. Bit ugly here. I'm going to move this 3 over the other side. So that's a positive 3. Goes over as negative 3. And rewrite. Negative 10x is equal to negative 2. Take away 3 is negative 5. Now, if you're not particularly strong with directed numbers, use your calculator. I mean, you've got it with you in a test. Now we need to divide both sides by negative 10. And in this case, we need to simplify this fraction. These negatives cancel, and 5 over 10 is a half. And one more. Okay, pretty ugly question, isn't it? We are going to multiply by the lowest common multiple of x, 2x, and 3x. So we want something that x goes into, 2x goes into, and 3x goes into. And that's going to be 6x. So I'm going to times everything by 6x, like this. There are 4 terms. Don't miss one of them. Now, you should with this see the beauty of this method because it's going to fall out into something reasonable in one go. X into 6x goes 6 times. 2x into 6x goes 3 times. Okay, let's just look at that again. 6x divided by 2x, x's cancel, 2 goes into 6 3 times. Don't need to worry about the 1 because there's no denominator. 3x into 6x goes 2 times. All right, let's rewrite this. What have we got here? 6 times 2 is 12. Take away 3 times 3 is 9 is equal to 6x. Take away 2 times 1 is 2. Let's do it again. 6 2s are 12. Take away 3 3s are 9 is equal to 6x. Take away 2 times 1 is 2. Let's tidy this up. So that's the same as 3 is equal to 6x minus 2. So taking out negative 2 over the other side becomes positive 2. So 5 is equal to 6x. I'm going to turn it around. 6x is equal to 5. Divide both sides by 6. There's our answer. X is equal to 5/6. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Our next lesson is on literal equations.